I think that the distressed, which I think is more on the residential in the larger scale, is an opportunity, and it is already in the process of, let's say, being a big opportunity in the market. There are many distressed deals, meaning that of course they have a problem with the debt, and I think that the Italian legislation is quite effective now in providing all the instruments to manage this kind of situation satisfactorily for the banks, for the equity investors, and of course for the parties who want to acquire the asset. Personally, I've seen projects where you can buy very good assets in very good locations. We just had the problem that were over-evaluated at the time of the purchase. That is also an issue with the Italian market, which is going to be resolved. The over-evaluation which was made of the assets in the peak of the market, with the consent of the bank, to be honest, and you can buy very good opportunities to be redeveloped with reasonable cost and paying. I'm not saying the half, but near the half of the original price. I think these are opportunities. Is more a cherry-picking exercise so far. So this is why you need to be in the market, or just to be confident to find the right opportunities. But this can be done in transparency with effective law instruments, which is restructuring agreements with the banks and with the creditors, which are acknowledged and passed by the court. And take into account that currently the legislation about the composition with creditors in a distressed opportunities says that since you start the procedure up to the end of the procedures, it cannot last longer than 6 months. And it is difficult to let's say, overrule this in the court. Of course, I think that it is still necessary a bit more cooperation from the banks. Italian banks traditionally are not willing to write off easily. I think that no one does, but in Italy it is particularly true, also because of the fact that given the circumstance that Italian people is more, let's say, prone to save the money. We don't have, let's say, an over-leveraged economy, and the banks are relatively in good shape. And so they tend to be a little bit long in the process, but I think that they are now understanding that this is the moment to close the deals. And you can find actually good opportunities, especially from my experience in not only Milan and Rome, but also, let's say, Venice, Florence, and speaking of really prime assets, which can be also object of opportunistic investment and to be traded in the short term. Just finish the development, for example, then remarket, and with an horizon of a couple of years.
That's interesting. That's beginning to come through, because that wasn't the case. We did one of these last year where the view was you'd have to wait about 7 years to get your money out.
I don't want to hide the fact that, say, administrative procedures, especially in the past, and judicial claims have the tendency to last for longer than expected. But it's not always so. And it depends from the procedures. It depends very much on the specific geographical area you are in. But now the situation is much better than it was some years ago. This is my